For years, the junior golf world has revolved around the legend of Tiger Woods and the rise of his son, Charlie. But in January 2026, a new rivalry has reached the boiling point. Entering the season, Charlie Woods and Miles Russell aren't just names on a leaderboard. They are the two most polarizing forces in amateur golf. With Charlie ranking at AJGA number 20 and Miles holding a historic iron grip on world number 1, the gap between legacy and dominance has never been more fascinating. Subscribe to Neon Golf for the fastest updates on the future of the PGA Tour. Let's break down the head-to-head stats that define this 2026 collision course. As we enter the 2026 season, the most striking aspect of the Woods-Russell rivalry is the sheer statistical divide between the two phenoms. On one side, you have Miles Russell, who has systematically dismantled the junior golf record books. As of January 2026, Miles remains the Rolex AJGA number 1 ranked player in the world, a position he has held for over 45 weeks. His average points per event sit at a staggering 141.258, nearly triple the average of most top 10 players. Miles isn't just winning, he is dominating. With 3 major AJGA Invitational titles in 2025 alone, including a historic victory at the Sage Valley Junior Invitational and his second consecutive Junior Players Championship, Miles enters 2026 as the undisputed gold standard of his generation. On the other side stands Charlie Woods, currently holding the Rolex AJGA rank 20. While the gap between number 1 and number 20 might seem large on paper, the trajectory of Charlie's 2025 season suggests a player who is rapidly closing the distance. Charlie's ranking is anchored by his explosive 15 under par victory at the Team Tailor-Made Invitational at Streamsong, where he outpaced a field that included 4 of the top 5 players in the country. This single win catapulted him from outside the top 600 to the elite top 20 bracket, earning him first-team All-American honors alongside his father, Tiger. The head-to-head data from their 2025 encounters paints a picture of 2 different types of excellence. At the Junior Players Championship at TPC Sawgrass, Miles Russell was the predator, carding a 4 under 68 to share the lead early and eventually winning the title on a brutal Sunday. Charlie Woods, meanwhile, struggled with a 4 over 76 in the opening round, but displayed his trademark, Woods' resilience, to climb back into the middle of the pack. However, at the Team Tailor-Made Invitational, Charlie turned the tables. He fired rounds of 70, 65, and 66 to finish 15 under par, while Miles finished in 7th place, 6 strokes behind Charlie. This back-and-forth results in a fascinating dynamic. Miles owns the consistent hardware, but Charlie has shown that on his best days, he can beat the best player in the world. Entering 2026, the ranking gap is a story of proven consistency versus high peak potential. Miles Russell has a floor that is higher than most players' ceiling, rarely finishing outside the top 10 in any elite invitational. Charlie Woods, however, has shown that when his 170 mph ball speed and clinical putter align, he is arguably the most dangerous player in the field. For the class of 2027, this isn't just a ranking battle, it's a clash of identities. Miles is the clinical, professional-grade machine, and Charlie is the explosive, high-drama legacy. As they both prepare for the 2026 Grand Slam of junior golf, the first thing scouts look at isn't the trophy case. It's the gap in average points that Charlie is desperately trying to erase. While the rankings tell a story of consistency, the driving statistics from the early 2026 season reveal a fascinating clash of physics. In the world of elite junior golf, the tee box is where the battle for psychological dominance begins. And as of January 2026, Charlie Woods and Miles Russell are operating on 2 completely different wavelengths. Charlie is currently the velocity king of the junior ranks, while Miles is the master of functional efficiency. The headline-grabbing number for Charlie Woods is his 170 mph ball speed. For a 16-year-old, this is almost unprecedented. To put that in perspective, Charlie's current ball speed is roughly equal to the average of a mid-tier PGA Tour professional. This explosive power is the result of a massive physical transformation Charlie underwent between late 2024 and early 2026, where he optimized his ground force production to generate incredible torque. On a launch monitor, Charlie's ceiling is significantly higher than almost any other player in the class of 2027. This raw velocity allows him to carry the ball over 295 yards, effectively turning par 5s into par 4s. a strategy that fueled his historic 15 under par win at Streamsong. However, the trade-off for this Formula One engine is dispersion. At 170 mph, a 1-degree error at impact can lead to a 40-yard miss, a challenge Charlie is still learning to navigate under high-pressure tournament conditions. In contrast, Miles Russell provides the optimized blueprint for modern driving. According to his latest FlightScope data, Miles averages a ball speed of 160.32 mph with a clubhead speed of 108.54 mph. On paper, Charlie is faster by nearly 10 mph, but Miles bridges the gap through a near-perfect smash factor of 1.48. While Charlie is swinging for the fences, Miles is hitting the sweet spot with surgical frequency. Miles' carry distance of 287.8 yards is consistent, repeatable, and designed to land in the center of the fairway. Miles doesn't chase 170 mph because his 2,161 RPM spin rate ensures his ball cuts through the air like a knife, providing a predictable rollout that often matches Charlie's total distance. This is why Miles was able to make the cut on the Korn Ferry Tour at age 15. He wasn't out driving the pros, he was out positioning them. The head-to-head technical data from January 2026 shows that Charlie Woods has the peak potential to overpower any course in the world, but Miles Russell has the precision floor that wins over 4 days. Charlie's high-launch, high-spin profile is perfect for hero golf, while Miles' mid-launch, low-spin profile is the gold standard for professional tour setups. As these two stars prepare for the spring majors, the question for 2026 is simple. Can Charlie refine his 170 mph speed to match Miles' efficiency? Or will Miles add the extra 510 mph he needs to completely close the door on the competition? It's a battle of raw power versus optimized physics, and it's the most compelling scientific experiment in golf today. While driving distance grabs the headlines, the 2026 season is being decided on the greens and through the ability to recover from mistakes. In this part of our head-to-head breakdown, we move past the tee box and into the scoring zone. When you look at the raw scoring data for early 2026, the contrast between Charlie Woods and Miles Russell becomes even more defined. This is where the battle for the one spot is won or lost, and the statistics reveal a fascinating tug-of-war between aggressive scoring and par protection. The most impressive stat for Miles Russell entering 2026 is his par 4 scoring average. Miles plays par 4s with a clinical, almost robotic efficiency, often averaging under 3.95 strokes per hole. His game is built on minimizing the big miss. Miles rarely cards a double bogey, and his bounce-back percentage, the ability to follow a bogey with a birdie, is among the highest in AJGA history. This resilience was on full display at the 2026 Jones Cup, where he secured a T2 finish against elite college amateurs. Even when his ball striking isn't at 100%, his short game and clutch putting allow him to stay in contention. Miles' putting stroke is a model of simplicity. He rarely three-putts, and his conversion rate on putts from 10 to 15 feet is what keeps him at world number 1. On the other hand, Charlie Woods is the king of the birdie or better percentage. Charlie plays an aggressive, high-risk, high-reward style of golf that is reminiscent of his father in the early 2000s. In January 2026, Charlie's birdie rate is actually higher than Miles Russell's in certain invitationals, particularly on par 5s. His ability to reach these greens in 2, thanks to that 170 mph ball speed, gives him more eagle looks than any other player in the class of 2027. This explosive scoring power was the reason he fired back-to-back 65 and 66 to win at Streamsong. However, the downside to this aggression is the volatile scorecard. Charlie's bogey avoidance stat still lags behind Miles, as he occasionally pushes too hard for a birdie and leaves himself with difficult par saves. The true X factor in 2026 is the putter. Charlie Woods has developed what analysts call a tournament putter. Like Tiger, Charlie seems to find his best putting rhythm when the pressure is at its peak. During his T19 finish at the Junior Orange Bowl, Charlie went on a historic streak of 14 consecutive pars and several clutch par saves that kept his round alive. While Miles Russell is statistically the more consistent putter over 72 holes, Charlie has the peak putting ability to win a tournament in a single afternoon. As we look at the head-to-head scoring stats entering the spring season, the verdict is clear. Miles Russell is the master of the low floor, ensuring he is always in the top 10 by avoiding mistakes. Charlie Woods is the master of the high ceiling, using his aggressive birdie-making ability to hunt for wins. For the fans, this is the perfect rivalry. One player refuses to lose, while the other is constantly swinging for the win. As the 2026 season progresses, the player who can bridge the gap, Miles finding more birdies or Charlie finding more pars, will walk away with the Junior World One title. While the technical stats and ranking points provide the foundation for this rivalry, the real story of 2026 is written on the scorecards of the most prestigious invite-only tournaments. When the lights are brightest and the fields are the most elite, the head-to-head record between Charlie Woods and Miles Russell reveals a fascinating power struggle. As of January 2026, Miles Russell holds the edge in total major hardware, but Charlie has proven that he is the only player in the country capable of dethroning the world number one when it matters most. The most defining moment of their head-to-head battle came at the 2025 Team Tailor-Made Invitational at Streamsong. This event is widely considered one of the majors of the AJGA circuit. Charlie Woods delivered a record-breaking performance, carding a 15-under par total, 70-65-66, to win by 3 strokes. What made this victory significant was the field. Charlie defeated 5 of the top 10 players in the country, including Miles Russell. While Charlie was setting an AJGA invitational record with 26 birdies and an eagle, Miles finished in 7th place, 9 shots off the lead. This was the moment the golf world realized Charlie wasn't just a legacy player. He was a genuine threat to the Russell era. However, Miles Russell has repeatedly shown why he is the world number one by dominating the most grueling setups in the sport. At the 2025 Junior Players Championship at TPC Sawgrass, perhaps the most difficult test in junior golf, Miles became the first player in history to win the event twice. While Miles was carding a clinical opening 68 to share the lead, Charlie struggled in the difficult conditions, opening with a 76. Miles' ability to perform on tour-ready courses like Sawgrass and Ocean Forest, where he just secured a T2 finish at the 2026 Jones Cup, is what currently separates him from Charlie. Miles thrives when the average score is high, whereas Charlie excels when the course allows for aggressive, high birdie scoring. In the pro-amateur crossover events, Miles also holds the lead. While Charlie has been focused on his high school career, leading the Benjamin School to multiple state titles, Miles has already been competing against professionals. His T20 finish at the LECOM Suncoast Classic on the Corn Ferry Tour remains the gold standard for 15-year-olds in the modern era. Entering the spring of 2026, the head-to-head record is a tale of 2 different strengths. Charlie Woods has shown the highest peak by beating Miles in a direct shootout at Streamsong, but Miles Russell has the most consistent major record, proving he can win on any terrain from the grainy greens of Florida to the windy dunes of Georgia. As we head toward the U.S. Junior Amateur this summer, the rivalry is perfectly balanced. Charlie has the momentum of a first-team All-American selection and a recent T19 at the Junior Orange Bowl, where he showed incredible resilience. Miles has the momentum of a legendary amateur run and a commitment to Florida State University. Every time these two are paired together in 2026, it isn't just a junior match, it's a preview of the next 20 years of the PGA Tour. As we conclude this deep dive into the head-to-head stats of Charlie Woods and Miles Russell, we are left with a fundamental question that will define the next decade of golf. Are we witnessing the start of the Russell era, or is the next Tiger narrative finally ready to become a reality? In January 2026, the data suggests that we don't have to choose. Instead, we are entering a unique period in sports history, where 2 distinct types of greatness are pushing each other to heights we haven't seen since the early days of the Tiger-Phil rivalry. The next Tiger narrative has followed Charlie Woods since he first picked up a club, but 2026 is the year he has finally backed it up with elite-level physics. By reaching a 170 mph ball speed, Charlie has proven that he possesses the raw, athletic ceiling to overpower any golf course in the world. He isn't just a legacy act, he is a statistical anomaly. His victory at Streamsong showed that when he finds the zone, his scoring average can drop to levels that even the world number one cannot match. For Charlie, the long game is about refinement. If he can take the resilience he showed during his 14-par streak at the Junior Orange Bowl and pair it with the clinical efficiency of a professional, he won't just be a PGA Tour player, he will be a generational icon. He represents the peak potential of the sport, a player who can turn a 72-hole tournament into a personal highlight reel. On the other side, the Russell era is already here. Miles Russell has set a blueprint for the modern junior that is based on total optimization. His 1.49 smash factor and his Rolex AJGA #1 ranking aren't just numbers. They are a shield of consistency. Miles has proven that you don't need to lead the field in driving distance if you can lead the field in strokes gained, precision. His ability to compete against professionals on the Korn Ferry Tour at age 15 remains the most impressive achievement in amateur golf since Tiger's own junior run. Miles represents the professional floor, a player whose worst day is still better than 99% of the field's best day. He is the master of the ground game, the short game, and the mental game, and he is the undisputed benchmark that Charlie must surpass. The final verdict for 2026 is clear. Miles Russell owns the present, but Charlie Woods owns the ceiling. Currently, Miles is the better tournament golfer, as evidenced by his superior point average and his ability to win on diverse course setups. However, Charlie's rapid physical evolution and his 170 mph velocity give him a weapon that could eventually make him untouchable. For college recruiters at Florida State and Stanford, this is the ultimate 1A and 1B scenario. Whether you prefer the surgical left-handed precision of a Russell or the explosive, high-drama power of a Woods, the result is the same. The class of 2027 is the strongest in history. As these two superstars head toward the U.S. Junior Amateur and the Summer Majors, the rivalry is no longer just about stats. It's about legacy. Charlie is fighting to step out of the greatest shadow in sports history, and Miles is fighting to prove that hard work and optimization can beat a famous name. For the viewers of Neon Golf, one thing is certain. We are watching the birth of the next great era of the PGA Tour. The gap has closed, the speed is up, and the battle for world #1 has only just begun.